Hey everyone, Jim T. Graham with the RC Groups podcast. Jason, how you like that for just getting it going without saying a damn word?
Just going right in, man. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
So yesterday was July 4th, Independence Day, and it was what was it, like 100? I'm not joking.
Is that what was happening last night? I heard all this racket.
It was blowing up. I'm over by the country club, and they go big, and so it was definitely for real. It went on and on and on. My dogs were shivering.
Yeah, I felt like we started playing music in the house because we left and went down about an hour away to my brother or my wife's brother puts on this big event for the city of Ardmore, or near Ardmore, Alabama. And we went down there. They had, thousands of people. We brought the Segways and the tents and the chairs. I brought my Mavic Pro, took some aerial photos. But I did learn something. I flew my Mavic responsibly. I took off away from everybody. I flew out, over the tree line, taking pictures of the crowd so they can use it for their Facebook promotions of the event for next year. And then we look up and we see a Phantom 3 or 4 right over the crowd, just buzzing around, flying over everybody. And it just reminds me how many people don't really fly responsibly or appropriately, and how it's our responsibility as the RC community to let those people know. I couldn't find the guy that was flying it. I never saw the pilot to go let him know. But if you do see the pilot doing irresponsible flying, please, in a nice way, go tell him, that's not a good idea.
Do you think he would have listened to you?
Maybe.
It's probably a dang-do millennial.
He could get mad at you, but, if you see something, say something kind of thing, right? I mean, I don't want it to sit there and I looked for the guy. I couldn't find him. But, what if it fell and hit a kid that's running around and on the ground? It's just, there's better ways to do things and proper ways to do things. So you can get just as good of photos by not flying directly on top of people. So anyway, that's my PSA.
I saw a post go by, and it was a guy who just got a new, it wasn't even a very big quad. It was like a racing quad. And it was like, just got my quad. Obviously not an RC pilot in any way. And his leg just had multiple lacerations in it.
Oh, man.
What do you think would happen? It has props. They spin rapidly. The blades are very thin.
Yeah, it can't hurt you.
So I'm going to go and head over and make sure that I'm engaging. There we go. With our user base and the live chat. So, hey, if you're not watching this live, did you know you can watch it live and interact via the live Hangout on YouTube? All you have to do is subscribe, and theoretically, whenever we go live, which could happen at any moment, you would then be notified. You could jump on and hang out with other live people like Steve Wattenberg or Nikolai or Daniel Belagarian. Can you say that, Jason?
Sorry, Daniel. I apologize for Jim. I mean,
Belargian.
Belargian.
That's it. Belargian. That's got to be it. He'll let me know if I got it wrong. Tom Flight Craze Daniels, Daniel Haynes. They're all on right now. So anyway, how hot was it yesterday? Did you go look at a thermometer?
Oh my gosh. So I should have brought it. It's in my hobby room. It was like 100 and something heat index for sure. It was daggum close to 100 degrees where we were outside. I had brought, so get this. So we brought our Segways that I use at all my RC events. My wife has one. So we parked. You have to park away from the event and walk to it on the road. So we were zipping around the Segways. It was awesome. But I also had a ton of gear to carry. So we brought this beach umbrella thing that sits on the ground so we could get, and some shade. I brought, 2 chairs. We brought a little backpack with my drone, a Nintendo Switch in it for killing time, drinks.
You and my son, Nintendo Switch everywhere he goes. If I'm driving 2 minutes up the street, that boy's got the Nintendo Switch anyway.
Yeah. So, but then I also was like, you know what? It's going to be dang hot. It's not going to be very windy. I need some fanage going on. So I brought this giant box fan and my little river power supply portable battery thing. It's got 2 AC outlets on it. So I popped that thing on the ground, and I don't know how many people came up to me asking, is that a generator? How are you running this fan? Tell me about this thing. I'm like, yeah, it's a little battery for my RC chargers. But it worked awesome. It lasted all the day we were out there.
That should be their marketing campaign. They send guys like you out to events, and then people are like, "What the heck is that?"
You know, I tried to get them to send me one for review way back when they first started. I think it was a Kickstarter project originally, but I was like, I gotta have one for charging at events and stuff. Having my own power supply is.
Jason, can you find that really fast for the viewers at home? Because if we're going to talk about it, then we have to show.
I will be right back.
The barn door. Wait. Yeah, I took the focus off of him. So I want to thank all our live viewers for coming on. You know, it is stinking hot. It was so hot. We didn't even go anywhere yesterday. I was talking to the wife. I said, why don't we totally get truly independent and not have to contend with anything? So I sat in here and wrote some spaghetti Western music all day long, literally the whole dang day. I'm almost done with this song. I think the working title is Outlaws. Seems a little generic. So Jason is hunting. What did you have to go to the other room for to find the one?
To get it.
Oh, you're lucky you had your pants on. Many times Jason will get up from a meeting and be wearing pajamas.
That's not true.
That's totally true.
It's somewhat true.
Jason, I had a PM today from a user who apologized for getting a warning point. And I told him that we've been doing this so long that someone getting a warning point certainly doesn't offend us.
Right. Yeah. It's just a content issue. It's not a personal issue. All right. Awesome. So, holy cow, they upped the price on this joker. Dang. All right. So back when I got it, it was like around 400. But it's the EcoFlow River portable power station. You can turn it on right here. You get a cool little trying to get it out of the glare there. Hard to not get it in the glare. Look at that. Anyway, it gives me a readout. It's got a little fuel gauge. It says 100%. It says it'll last 99 hours, and then it's got a watt meter on it. So when you're actually pulling power, it'll tell you like how many hours it'll run, whatever that is at the current rate, and how many watts you're pulling out of it, which is really cool. It's got 4 USB outlets, quick charge outlets. It's got 2 12 power outlets. It's got 2 USB-C outlets. And on the back here, it's got a 300 watt AC power supply and a DC plug in your cigarette lighter adapter deal.
Wow. So,
I mean, I love this thing. It's light. I can't remember the capacity. It's massive. It's 412 watt hours, 28.5 amp hour. So there you go. But man, it's great for charging batteries at the field, just conveniently. You don't have to carry a generator or gas, any of that good stuff. I see Jim T's left, but man, they've got it for $599 right now. That's pretty dang high.
I wanted to jump in on the end of this because I too have something that I meant to show off last week and totally forgot.
Well, there you go.
If you're in the shop like me, so what you're looking at in the door I just opened is the shop area. And then I'm starting to shoot photos in this area instead of way back in the basement, just because it's handier. My wife set that up for her ink drawing, and she has a 3 light set up and all that stuff. But here's the problem. So in this office, I have these 2 lights behind me, but they're not on a light switch. And then I have all my amps to the left. And then I have my 3D printing station over here, and they're all running off of power strips, as are all the lights in the other shop. And the reason this relates to RC, I believe, is because we all have shops and we're all looking for shop solutions. So I was cleaning up this office. Basically, what I was doing in here is making everything work so I didn't have to move it to plug it in. And then I thought, I need a better way of not bending over every night and turning everything off and making sure I don't burn the house down. So I got on the Amazon, and I found this. It's called Electicity.
Etexity.
I'm trying to read it backwards. Yes. And it came with multiple plugs. And Jason and I deduced that it is run off a radio wave. And then you have 2 remotes. So this remote can run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those outlets, or you can gang the outlets. So you can have 2 outlets on 1 channel. So if I hit number 3, look over my shoulder, you should see the shop lights come on. Whoa, hold on. Check. What the heck? Oh, there they go. Maybe it was a radio wave thing. So that controls the shop light. Every light in the shop is now on. I also have a basement beyond that where the lights were always on because you couldn't reach the switch. And I connected that so I can also turn the basement lights off. And then behind me, what the heck's going on there?
Live demos never work.
Yeah, I'm hitting the wrong button. Behind me, I have this. So this powers everything on this back wall and those two lamps. And then if I hit the other button, that turns off on and off everything on this wall. And so, like I say, I have two of these. The other one is by the door to the basement. So when my wife goes down into the basement, she can just go on and off. And the whole goal here was this crazy heat and electricity bill. And I wanted to be able to, anyway, it's one of it was like $27 or something on Amazon.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Super handy.
Things rarely work the way you want. I've bought many a thing that I thought would solve all my problems only to have it not work at all. Get your tongue out of your eye teeth so we can see what you're saying. Get your tongue out of, oh. Damn, Steve is on today.
Everybody's got the 4th of July freedom hangover, apparently.
Well, Angel was telling my son, she said, you know what work will get done in the next 2 days? Nothing. That's what will get done in America. Yeah. No work.
Yeah, my wife said that a lot of people just took off the rest of the week because it's just a holiday smack dab in the middle. They're like, screw it. I'm taking the whole split.
Well, speaking of taking things off and holidays, we're going to launch right into the meat and potatoes of this podcast, Jason.
Oh, I bet I know what that's about.
Yeah. Your haircut.
My haircut. Well, it's actually, I put some gel in it today. Do you like it?
Nice. My wife is trying to talk me into dyeing all my hair white, silver.
Well, you could pull off a Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, probably.
Right. Do I really want to spend time to try to look like an old man? I don't think so.
I mean, it's still hip to be Lord of the Rings.
Jason Cole recently took a trip to an event. And was it hot down there, Jason? I guess it should have been.
Yeah, it was hot, but it wasn't as hot as yesterday, for sure. It wasn't that bad, really. I mean, I wasn't dying.
Hey to Vernell. Welcome aboard, Vernell. I haven't seen your name on that list before, so.
Plus, they had a pool, man. It was the Pecan Patch fly-in and pool party.
Did you actually get in the pool?
I did not get in the pool.
I'm gonna set this to you, so I'll quit interrupting your stream.
All right. So this was like the first of its kind because normally this event was the FPV event, which is sponsored by Ready Made RC. And this year they were like, you know what? When all the FPV guys are here, it looks like nothing's happening on the field because all the FPV guys are out flying, off in the fields and trees and everywhere except the runway. So they were like, let's try opening this thing up to everybody. It's electric, gas, whatever, helis, bring it all, come out and play. And FPV still, Ready Made still a sponsor. And it worked great. So there was no conflicts. There was, not a problem with FPV guys mixing it up with regular line of sight flyers. And we had like over 70 pilots turn out, which was a fantastic.
That's a lot of pilots.
Turnout. Yeah. And you can see down below, I'll show you, there's some of the aerial pictures. Maybe, yeah, I think I should have them. Anyway, it was basically the entire flight line was just filled with tents. It was a giant tent row. We can watch the videos maybe in a minute. Let's start with some photographs.
Sidebar. Hey, Nick, if you have anything you want to say on here, let me know and I'll shoot you a link. That looks like a Pro Bro right there.
There's some Pro Bro shirts and stuff I saw around. Yeah. I mean, this was like the good old boys club, if you will. I mean, it was everybody just good buddies, Georgia, Southern guys. A lot of guys drove from out of town too. But man, did we have a fantastic time. The weather was hot, but really nice, not windy, just, really great for flying. It's a ready-made.
That's pretty nice.
You can take people for rides. Just get to some different things here. I like his fire pit.
Oh, wow.
Fancy. Isn't that thing fancy?
That's awesome. You can brand yourself with that thing.
It was so hot they didn't really use it. They just used it as a bench.
Right.
Some kind of kit bash project there. Let's see here. Yeah, people brought out fans because of the heat. selling stuff. You could buy stuff ready-made, had stuff for sale. What I like about the flying part of this is there was no rules really, except don't fly over the neighbor lady's property because they're in like a war right now.
Oh, that's the worst.
There's no like rules. It's just go have fun, you know, be responsible, be safe, but you know, don't be restricted to your fun. So some cool stuff here. I mean, lots of different types of aircraft. There's, you know, one section of tents. You can see the turnout. This was, I think, Friday before everybody really came out.
So, Jason, what did you bring?
I didn't really bring much. I bought my DLG, obviously. I brought the EFX Racer from Hobby King from Butterfly. And I brought my Easy Glider 4. I thought we were going to do an LMR contest, but that didn't end up happening. So this poor thing, there's a story here. This is a giant KLM. This thing is so lightweight. Maybe it was the pink one, but I think this one too. He could hand catch it from the bottom of the fuselage. He would fly it into himself, flare, and then hand catch it. It just was that light and slow. It looked like a real one flying around. But this guy did a downwind takeoff towards the neighbor lady's property, which is a no-no, and he lost elevator control, landed out in her property.
Oh.
She drove the mower out there and didn't run over it, you know, thankfully, but she was running circles around it and wouldn't let anybody come retrieve it.
What? Was she crazy?
She's crazy. She is crazy. And then, you know, she's trying to complain to the FAA and the local sheriff about airplanes being dangerous and scaring her horses and doing stuff. And none of that's really true. And the FAA is like, you don't control the airspace of your house. They're not doing anything illegal. Everybody was aware. So Mark called the cops and brought him out. And
they ever arrested?
He was able to talk to her, and they were able to go retrieve the airplane, which was more of a hazard leaving it there if the batteries decided to do something funky in the crash and create a fire. So it's like, you want to risk your property, or do you want us to get this airplane? Which was on the edge of the property line, out in the middle of a field, like no place, you know, that shouldn't be able to get to.
That's the bad problem for Mark.
There's a cool tank. That's a shell on the body of like a Traxxas Slash or something.
Is that a fireworks rocket for a cannon?
Yeah, we'll get to that. So throughout the day, they had cool events. You know, they had a bunch of raffle prizes. They had wing gaggles, which was awesome. We've got some of that. Here's some a little bit. You can see a bunch right there flying. You know, just get out these cheap foam wings and go mix it up and play and have a good time. Sounds really neat. There's another shot of that. This thing was awesome. This is Mark's Tiger Bat, and it's like an old Geobat, but this top section here is removable. You can pull it off and fly the airplane without it, and put this on, fly it with it. It's got its own receiver and battery and power system, but it controls the pilot. I'll show the video of it here in a minute. But it, like, his hand moves the stick with the elevator and ailerons. His feet pivot forward and backwards with the rudder, and his hand moves the throttle stick forward and backward for throttle.
Hey, all right, we got a lane.
What up? I can't see because I'm on the thing. But yeah, so here's that module, and then his head actually looks left and right as he's turning and stuff too. I mean, it was just really cool.
You probably said this, but you have a video on that in your article, right?
Yeah. Here's the video. You might even be able to hear it. Please about it. Can you hear it?
Not yet.
This is
it's
a version of the Geobat that I built about 5 years ago, and it's actually two models in one. The module with Tigger on it is one model, and the aircraft is another model. They separate, and like right here, just the model's turned on, and then when I turn the pilot section on, now everything moves.
Check that out, man.
Mark must be pretty smart.
Nose gear, rudder pedals, everything. And I've got a video on YouTube.
And here it is flying. It actually flies.
He should make it look more like a toilet seat. Oh, we can't hear you, Laner.
Oops. But you can see the field. I mean, the facility's great. nice grass, nice open area, perfect place to fly. I'll show you the kind of the event little montage video I made. Kind of give you a better idea of the action.
Jason Cole here from RCGroups, and we are going to show you guys a wing gag.
KFC came down to see me the other day.
Did he?
Yep, he was in my shop.
That's fun. He's a good dude, man. I guess we should continue talking because this
Oh, right.
is a podcast.
I'm just watching the video.
There's the tiger bat.
Lane has audio troubles. He can only communicate with his eyebrows.
Audio troubles. Oh, boy. Actually had a steerable nose wheel, too. Pretty cool. I mean, it's just like so neat. It had so many functions. But so aside from the daytime stuff, there's also nighttime activity, night flying, fireworks, mayhem, all the above. Check out this thing. What's the ultralight? I guess it's from Superfly Models because of the sticker on the tail. I'd never seen it. But that thing was awesome looking. Flew really nice and slow.
Look at the rays coming off the sky there.
Yeah, man. Sun rays. We had an awesome sunset Friday night. Shooting fireworks at airplanes. He almost gets it right here. Boom. It was really close.
Really care about this a long time ago now.
Shining lantern. Airplane flying over.
Well, they're doing it all.
Everybody hanging out at night. You don't want to miss the nighttime fun. Turn that down a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, I highly recommend you come out to this next year. Everybody was asking about you, Jim.
Oh, really?
Here we go. There's a good look at the flight line from my drone.
And you camped out there?
I did. I was camping out by the pecan trees over by the road.
How'd that go? You just used a porta-john and showered in the pool?
Yeah, they've got an awesome outdoor shower. It's like amazing shower, actually.
Now, where's this neighbor lady's farm?
She is drone right and behind at that point, off to the left in that shot. So he did angle the flight line this year to help people not fly over her property as much.
Maybe
so
a geo fence.
So you had gas planes and foamies and everything flying, and it all just worked. It wasn't like you have to have a separate flight area for these planes and a separate flight area for these planes. Everybody was just considerate and just mixed really well.
Well, I just wrote an article for model airplane for the AMA, and it was about being an ambassador for the RC hobby. And I was talking about how events like this really are huge.
So the turkey's been around forever. You've probably seen it on his RC trucks.
I can't believe he gets that dang thing CG right.
Look at that thing. The turkey wing.
That's amazing. I can't believe it flies.
It flew well too, man.
I'd put a camera right in that turkey's head.
So this was another hot. I didn't catch this guy's name, but it was like a hot shot pilot, and he was really good, you know. So that's not candy. This wasn't a candy drop. FYI, this was an adult beverage drop.
Oh,
for adults only.
That's awesome.
And then here's the final countdown stuff happening: fireworks and smoke and fire and planes crashing and shooting stuff and total mayhem. So next year, we're going to make this even bigger and better for the final countdown. We're going to try to get the community more involved, have more buildings and more tanks, shooting fireworks, all kinds of stuff. So it should be a total blast. Make it bigger and better.
I'm going to
here's KFC with the tail of the KLM after we recovered it. And then he had everybody sign it, and then that tail section is going to live signed in the shop.
I was wondering what made these two guys decide to take their shirts off. Maybe they were in the pool.
Well, there was a lot of pool happening. A lot of pool going on. I'm just looking for anything kind of really neat, specific looking here.
Now, did you fly out of the pool with periscope?
I'm sure some people did. I didn't get to that point. Yeah, so there's that ultralight. If anybody knows what that model is, I
You
didn't
want to
catch
buy
it,
it?
but really neat looking. Just something different, you know.
I'm wondering if Lane has a microphone.
There's the candy drop airplane.
I don't know. Maybe a set of cheapo headphones with mic might plug in that thing for the future. I was going to ask you,
All
Lane, if you thought I would fit in a 67 Chevy.
Here's your
Fifth wheel,
headset, Jim.
6'3". I saw that. That is super awesome. So what do we have? We have a video receiver on the side.
He's
And
got a
then-
pair of Zeiss Cinemizers inside, and the diversity receiver, the antenna stuff here on the other side. We've got you've got an on-off switch. The battery lives on top, and then this is the power module for the Cinemizers.
Maybe not the safest place for the battery.
Yeah, well, it's easy to throw off your head, but he let me try it on, dude, and it's really comfortable and blocks, all the light that you need, and you're able to see really clear. It was like really clever, It's kind of big and bulky, but like a normal face. It's actually less bulky than something like the
Right.
head place because it doesn't stick out as far. But
I'd like to see the inside of that thing.
huh?
I want to see the inside.
Yeah, I don't think I got a shot of the actual inside, but he just had a pair of Zeiss Cinemizers mounted in there. There's Mark in the turkey wing.
Lane, I've gone on a sugar-free diet, no processed sugars, and I'm pretty sure that I could fit in that flight suit now. I wouldn't look like a guy who should not wear a flight suit. Yeah, we should. Maybe you could make us all up one of those. You could do your own Lane's Plains patch.
So check that out.
Wow, that's serious business.
Those were the pew-pews. Super fun. This building ended up being totally engulfed in flames.
Total loss.
And it was so much fun, man. It's just such a good time. You can't help but smile and have a good time and enjoy it. And then you get this passed around and at the evening time.
What is that? That looks like napalm.
Yeah, you don't want to know. I actually didn't try any of it because I don't drink alcohol because I can't stand the taste of alcohol. But they had all kinds of flavors, man. They were passing around. Who knows? It was fun looking stuff though. Anyway, that's the Pecan Patch. I mean, awesome time. Mark and Judy, great hosts. Good food. Judy was cooking up food for us every day.
Did Judy do any interesting things there, like style or fancy bracelets or anything?
I don't know. Seems like she was working harder at this one because of the food. I can't remember if years past food was handled a different way, but
I asked Mark, I said, do you think she'll take some photos? And he said, no, she'll be busy.
Yeah, I think she did take some and post them, but yeah, she was busy working, keeping everything running.
West Michigan aerobatics. I'm looking at the live chat. Let me go check on something because I just posted something for Jace Ducia that's in Michigan. And I'm going to go take a look. So many years ago, I was in Michigan on a family trip and we drove by accidentally an RC field that accidentally was having an event. And I have never told this story. I was at this field. No one knew who RCGroups was. They thought I was there to get their money somehow. And I was trying to explain to them, no, I just want to take some pictures. And so I'm standing there and a man and a very small child walked up to me and it was John and Jace Ducia. So I totally didn't realize that's who it was, but we were at some party or something and they retold that story. And I was like, you mean I've known Jace since he's a little boy? So I've known him that long. Let me share my screen. I have my monitors kind of winky or wonky. What the heck? Is it flashing like that for you?
I've seen it on that too. Yeah.
What the what? Maybe it's a monitor issue.
If you're prone to
okay, that's the paint job.
it is coming through on the live feed as well.
Yeah, I see. 1 second.
You're prone to seizures. You might want to look away for a minute.
I don't know what the heck. Well, anyway, it's the Midwest Extreme Flight Festival in Michigan, July 12th through the 15th. Jace is going to be there. Chris Henson will be there. So what?
So it's coming up.
Yep. Chris will be there. Jeff Williams. We both know Jeff for well and for a long time. Jeff is going to be on hand to keep everyone under control. He's going to make sure nothing gets out of hand at the event, which I have seen happen. You know, I doubt that 9-time Fun Fly world champion Jerry L. Smith will be there, but when you get Chris, Jerry L., and folks like that in one place, things tend to go sideways quick. It's 8548 Morrison Lane in Saranac, Michigan. Now, let me go to the live chat and let's see if that's what our user was talking about.
No, he was talking about something else, I think.
Oh, there you go. What else we got? I made a few new posts this week. Of course, it was a happy July. Did you see me working on 4th of July like that, Jason? Where you like Jim's working on the 4th?
I didn't notice. What were you doing?
I created a happy 4th of July post on Flying Giants.
Oh, no, I didn't see it.
I even created a really cool.
I had no cell phone signal down at that party I was telling you about.
Let me try this one more time. Okay. Check that thing out. Pretty cool.
Booyah.
So one of the reasons I did this is I was talking to Scott at AJ, and he said, I said, hey, Scott, man, you got a sale going on. I'd be happy to say something about it. And he was like, please do. So I included some famous quotes. No one got on to me about including Willie Nelson in a quote about America here, but I did it. And then I threw up some sales that were going on and invited other folks to throw up their 4th of July information. So that went down. And then what else? There's more. This has been a pretty popular thread. It's a new plane from Pilot RC, the Extra 330LX. It's a totally new design. And so I included some videos and some multiple views of the bird. And then there's a lot of engagement going on here. Vapor Trails. Was Vapor Trails at the event, Jason?
He was, yep.
All right, so we got to talk about Futaba. I literally just emailed Nick Maxwell. I do have a series of questions that I sent him. Evidently, they are extremely rocking and rolling over there, and I'm hoping to get my list of responses to the interview questions soon. So what I did is I compiled a list from RCGroups and Flying Giants of every question anyone asked about Futaba USA. And hopefully that answers. Usually when you ask people questions and they answer it, it results in more questions being asked. So we'll see what happens.
Interesting.
And we'll jump over here to RCGroups. One thing, if you don't do it, is you can always look at the sidebar for what's going on. So here's some of the latest reviews. We actually have a couple of reviews that are way past being due to drop. And so hopefully that happens. I'm not sure what's going on there. Hot threads. The YouTube channel, of course. There's Flying Giants. I'm looking for something here. I'm not just saying what's going in front of my face. Here's Jason's Pecan Patch fly-in, so you can go check that out more closely there. And there you have it, jumping off the thing. Well, now would be time for Lane to talk. Hey, guys, it's Lane. I'm working. I've been doing helicopters all night long. We fly them. We use them. See, the blade goes around, and then I'm working. I go in, I pick them up, I fly them out, I save their lives, I'm back. I don't know if you heard it last week.
I like my trucks, but I really prefer a Mitsubishi Eclipse.
The reason I told Jim to sell his Ford Excursion is because it's a Ford, and it's not a Dodge. If it was a Dodge Excursion, I'd tell him to never sell it and put a Hemi in that thing. Really?
Oh, we can't hear him.
It's crazy.
No.
We've never had a guest before where they couldn't talk.
We need a lip reader that can sign language for us.
If only Matt Gunn were here.
Can translate, interpret the lips.
Maybe he'll write notes and talk to us that way.
Was that a Palm Pilot he was showing us, by the way?
Oh, no. I thought it was a blood pressure or heart monitor. Who knows what's going on over there? Well, Jason, I got to say, it's too hot for me to go. I'm literally trying not to go outside. I haven't mowed the lawn in 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, I've got to mow the lawn too, but I'm worried about next in 3 weeks. Yeah, about 3 weeks, I'll be heading up to Muncie for the Nats. And that's like a whole week of being out there and camping the whole time.
Well, it'll be August, so it'll be nice and cool. Wait, no.
It's going to be brutal, I believe. I'm just hoping it's not like a super hot streak. Maybe we get a little bit cooler temps in the 80s to kind of help out a little bit. But I'm getting slightly concerned. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to make sure I got plenty of waters. Maybe get in the car if I need to and turn on the AC and chill. But it's gonna be a long week of heat. But I'm excited. It's gonna be fun too.
Now, my daughter is working out at the JCC camp in the heat. And so she came home and said she had the flu. And I said, girl, you look just like me after Joe Knoll. And she was vomiting and in bed, and it was bad. So drink that water, y'all. I just got a bunch of pings off the internet. I'm going to see if that's anything crazy. Nope. All right. Well, not having Lane's vocal capabilities definitely is not making things happy. Well, next week, Lane, let's talk about what you're doing. Well, if we can. And let's also talk about if I can fit in a 67 Chevy. I was trying to call it a Chevy.
Next time on the RCGroups podcast.
LLC Care Flight. Very nice. Jason and I are always looking for jackets to wear at events. And so I've come to the conclusion we should just get black military jackets that have the Velcro. And then we just have RCGroups patches in our name. And then we could just like trade them out. Like when we're not at an RCGroups event, I can put the state of Texas on there or something like that. So let's go look at the live chat. Steve Coggin says, hey, better late than never. Working hard to let time run up on me. And Daniel Haynes says, just want to ask OD on your Avios Grand Tundra bush tires.
Matt Gunn has the Grand Tundra. So we can't ask him right now. He's not on here.
Somebody was talking about how we haven't heard from Matt. And I've talked to him a couple of times since he joined up with a full scale team. And I got a feeling that dude is either working, eating, or sleeping. And so
I did see activity on June 27th, though. I posted that flight comp dub box, that storage system for gliders.
Oh, yes.
He was the first post in that thread. Says, I'm buying one for my Eagle 3.6 res. Been hunting for a while now. So he's flying gliders. That's right.
That's crazy not having Matt around anymore, I got to say.
Yeah. We miss Matt for sure.
Oh, my God.
Uh-oh. Spider?
Well, I ate lunch a minute ago, but I guess I didn't. I got that going for me. I touched my shirt and I was like, what is on me?
That's some guac?
Boy, there's a couple of seeds there. There is a piece of avocado. Hey, you know what we haven't talked about and everyone's dying to hear?
Oh, what's that?
I have my colonoscopy.
Oh, baby.
So, yeah, I wasn't going to talk about it because I don't want to discourage anyone from not doing it. But let me just say, I went in with a very positive pre-colonoscopy attitude. I was like, let's see what this liquid really does. I can drink anything, I drink moonshine. Surely, let me tell you, moonshine makes this stuff taste like Avion water. It was a gallon of stuff I had to drink. I drank it at 5 p.m. and then I'd wake up at 3:45 in the morning and drink the other half gallon. And I did it. And anyway, the end of the story is I got there. I'm glossing over everything, but it was like this. They wheeled me in the room and I met everyone. And the guy walks up to me and he goes, Jimmy T. Nobody says that to me unless you really know me, right? And I was like, what? And he says it right here on your chart. Jimmy T.
I think I have audio.
Hey, all right, awesome. He did. I only took you out.
I think it was,
and now he's gone. Oh, now
I had to steal.
Wait, this is like the audio of Pecan Patch.
Give me a minute.
All right. So the end of the story is they were like, are you ready? And I said, yeah, let's get this hysterectomy on the road. And then I'm not kidding you. They turned the knob and I woke up in another room and everything was over and I was sitting with my wife. They knocked me all the way out, man. So the good news is I'm clean. And Lane, you weren't on here last week. I almost backed out of this procedure over and over again. And the only reason, well, there's two reasons. I stuck to it. It cost me $700 plus my health insurance was, because of I wasn't aware that's how we lost Crash until you said that, and I was like, well, I definitely have to go do it now. And then the other thing is John Jay Stussy, his dad, sat down with me and told me his story, and so I thought, well, John did it, and I got to do it because of Crash, and so I did do it, and thank goodness I did, and not graphic detail, but they did nothing major was there, but they did circumvent any future tense possibilities. So let's just put it that way.
You said you almost backed out of it, but you actually backed into it.
Well, you know what? It's all behind me now.
So you woke up with a big smile on your face, didn't you?
My wife sitting next to me, and she said that she was trying to gently wake me up, and she said a nurse came in and shook. They wanted me out of that bed. They needed someone else, right? And all I remember is going, "Hey, but I feel fine. I feel fine. I just feel real good." She's like, "You can't even talk." I was like, "I don't know what to talk about. I feel fine."
Kind of like Cartman.
Oh, we needed that video.
Yeah, that would have been a good one to have. Jim in a hospital gown, sounding like Cartman.
When's your next one, Jim? I'll come film it.
5 years, if I do it, then there's my wife and my dog.
So yeah, I had to go across the hall because I can't, for some reason, I left my headset somewhere. I don't know. It's probably at home. And so I went across the hall to the our briefing room where we do an online briefing with our fixed wing aircraft, our comm center, our other helicopter, and then us. And we do a video thing. And I stole their microphone and speaker, and that is what I'm using.
Oh, you know, it'd been cool is if you use the headset from your heli. You know, you just plug it directly in.
I swear they modeled that from a Palm Pilot PDA.
Yeah, well, I don't even know how I got it to work. I just kept pushing buttons and messing with stuff till it finally worked. So anyway, you were asking about how things are going here or something. I caught part of that, Jim.
Just what's going on? What's new? Where you been?
Well, last week I was in Sioux Falls working there, and had a couple of flights out of there, patient flights, and the new helicopter 605 Alpha Victor is in service up there now, and 911 Mike Kilo is in service. I'm in Aberdeen currently. This is my office. There's nothing in here yet, and we've had in 3 days, I think it's been, we've had 2 flight requests, and on one of them we had an electronic issue with the helicopter, so they had to cancel. And they got that fixed. The second one was yesterday or last night, and they lifted, and it was a scene, you know, meeting up with a fire department, local folks, and they lifted and they called and said, "Nope, we're good. We don't need you. Thanks." So they did a circle and came back in and landed. So I'm just waiting for this thing to make lots of noise. Yeah. And when it does, I'm going to go play helicopter.
Break 19, break 19.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Hey, I'm seeing something in the live chat that I want to clarify very quickly. John did not have any issues. That was the good part, but he felt like he surely did. If you ever see Ducia, be sure he tells you his colonoscopy story, because it's very hilarious, much more than mine. And so it did not end in a negative way, but he went in and got checked out. And so he kind of inspired me to, I did, by the way, call John after it was over. I was probably still moderately high. Nice. And I was like, I basically was trying to say, thank you because you kind of made me go through with it. Although I don't know that I actually ever said those words. So John may think, why the hell is Jim calling me about this colonoscopy? In retrospect, I think I was still hungover from being knocked out.
Gosh.
Yeah. Awesome. The event coming up this weekend in Michigan, MEF,
yes,
is an awesome event. Me and Christy have been to it twice. Last year we sat there with Jason and John and them, and at about midnight, 1 o'clock, we're having a beer and sitting by the fire, roasting marshmallows and doing the thing. And some good flying, some good people up there. Really, really a fun event to go to if you're anywhere close by. Highly recommend it. I entered the one trick contest. I think it was either last year or the year before with Ginorman.
What was your trick? You just landed or something?
Yeah, just fly it and get it in the air. No, we did a rudder roll, which a roll isn't that difficult until you fly a plane like that with 5 pounds of wheels.
What does that look like? A giant corkscrewing, earth plummeting thing?
A lot like that, but you just hit full rudder and the thing just does this flop thing. It's really kind of neat. It's really fun when you're straight vertical, and right when you get to the peak, it won't climb anymore.
Snap
You hit full rudder and elevator, and it does this really cool kind of 3D floppy thing and kind of spins on the prop for a second, and it's neat.
So I'm not known for antagonizing or being mean to people, but I drove up. This was many, many years ago. I used to go to the field before I went to work every morning and fly 2 or 3, like 2 tanks, I guess. I'd fly until the fuel ran out. And these guys were out there with some big old trainer, and they were flying and doing rolls, and they would roll until it was about to hit the dirt, and then they would pull out. So I watched them do 2 passes. They were younger guys, like 20-ish. And they could only get 2 rolls out of this thing. And I jokingly said, why don't you get 3? I think you can get 3. And I didn't think he'd take me seriously. And he flew that thing into 1,000 pieces into the ground and turned around and looked at me like I had crashed his airplane.
Peer pressure. It'll get you every time.
I can do it.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe it was like a dare or something.
No, so if you've never been to Aberdeen, South Dakota, you're lucky.
Sounds flat and cold.
No, it's actually a pretty nice little town. 28,000 people, so it's about the same size as Hastings, where we live near there in Nebraska. 6 hours and 28 minutes north to get here. I drove my '69 Dodge.
I saw that. I was really impressed that you're driving this truck everywhere. 260. You just said that 268 miles.
Yeah, and I well, no, that was. Is that what it was? I don't know. 6 hours, 28 minutes, whatever the hell that ends up being. Yeah. It got about 17 to 18 miles per gallon the whole way.
You don't have air conditioning in that way.
Sure I do. 2 windows.
Yeah. With the vents.
Yeah.
Crack that yourself.
That's it. And yeah, it's my $120 pickup. How can you go wrong?
I know. And it looks good.
Well, good enough. But it's funny. I'll drive the '63 convertible, and you get a honk or a wave now and then. You drive that pickup, man, you can't beat people away from it with a stick. They just love coming and talking. Oh, it's a great truck. Did you notice the rocker panel is missing? It rusted away. But it's a cool truck. It's got character.
One of the rules with a truck like that, I was thinking if that was my truck, what would I do and not do? And so I would not touch the paint because I love the patina. But what I would do is probably work on that interior till it was close to a showroom finish. So the external would be bad, but the internal would be awesome.
Right. And I was actually thinking about that while driving it. It'd be nice to put air conditioning on it, but it's got a slant 6 in it. I don't know if it's got enough horsepower to turn a compressor and drive.
Yeah. Where would you put the dang compressor?
Oh, there's plenty of space. Those trucks came with 440s in them.
Right.
So I could drop anything in it, but it's just, I like it the way it is. It's not fast, but it'll get you there.
So have you been thinking about selling it or just love it too much?
For the right price, I'd let it go. But
I think I know. I have a theory on what the price on that might be, but that's only a theory. And you do think I'll fit in a 65 to 70 C10 pickup truck with my 6
Absolutely. What I've learned, and the way I sit when I drive is a little bit different because I'm short. But if I take myself in this '69 and I scoot all the way back, like you're supposed to be, just perfectly set up straight, then my right foot for the gas pedal is actually in a pretty good location for me. Now you're much taller, so this truck for you would probably be just a little bit cramped.
Gotcha.
Your left foot's fine. It's just where the gas pedal is. That's an easy thing to relocate, though, also. So all I can tell you is get in one and drive it. Did I send you a link to one the other day, that red one?
You did not.
Okay, I thought I had. I found a 67 or a 69 red. I think they wanted 22 or 23,000 for a beautiful truck.
Yeah. That's kind of the number now. If you want something decent, it's about.
We hadn't used the BBT for any events this year yet, Jim T.
I know, man. And that's the other thing. The BBT is such a show machine. I just, I'm conflicted.
Well, I say get rid of the Ford and go get yourself an old truck. Unless you need the Ford. If you need the Excursion, then you keep it, obviously. But if it's not a necessity, why not enjoy life and drive something cool?
Right, because life is short.
That's right. It's kind of like, why fly trainers every day when, you could go buy a turbine?
Get a P-51. Jason, we desperately need you to reel us back into the RC world.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm out,
so
man.
Flight Fest is
I'm
coming up
getting ready, preparing for the Nats. That's where I'm going to be at these next couple weeks.
And what do you have in the review pike? You know, I've got the Optera 1.2, but it's not coming yet. It must not be shipping.
They just got in stock recently, so
I better make an email.
You might want to hit Kim back up. But we do have so we're still waiting on Nick Spitfire to come back for approval. We're still waiting on Mike McDougal to kind of finish up getting healed, and he's got a couple of projects to finish.
Lane, did we talk about all that about McDougal catching himself on fire?
Oh yeah. Remember I told the story about lighting my house on fire?
That's right. We told all the fire stories.
That's right. Flight Fest is coming up this weekend.
Oh, in Texas?
No, Melbourne, Ohio.
The Ohio one.
Oh.
Yeah. And they do a podcast and they do all their stuff, and it's probably, I don't know, if RCGroups and them, or whatever. I don't care. That, me, I just do what I do. But that is one of the most fun events I've ever been at.
We're big fans of the Flight Test boys. They're all good guys, and they're fun to eat dinner with.
Yes. So we will be there. The problem is, currently, I got an email from my boss. He's looking for somebody to fill in for me on Wednesday. If he gets somebody to fill in for me on Wednesday, then Tuesday I will leave, go home. Wednesday, load up the trailer and head out. And we'll be there, I don't know, Thursday or something. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But currently I'm working on Thursday, Wednesday, which means I get home at 1 a.m. on Thursday. And then we leave to drive 15 hours for a 4-day event that we'll probably catch 3 days of. So, it's getting to a point where I'm not certain it makes financial sense to drive out there at 9 miles to the gallon.
Well,
if
3 days.
If the money's right, I'll come out there and take a shift.
Yeah, come on. It doesn't pay too bad, I'll tell you that.
I'm probably rated for tandem paragliding. I can go save somebody.
Yeah, I mean, helicopter, paraglider, they're about the same, right?
I was thinking, man, what a skill set. Being a hotshot heli pilot, you could work wherever you wanted, anywhere in the country, I bet, within reason, But it sounds like a pretty sweet gig.
It is. It's not bad. And, the chicks dig the flight suit, so.
Right, yeah. And, I mean, you do have people's lives literally in your hands, but if you're a hotshot heli pilot, that just goes with part of the business,
Well, I don't know about being a hotshot helicopter pilot, but I haven't killed anyone, at least not with my flying, yet.
What's the most hotshot thing you've ever done in a full-scale heli?
I think there's been a few. We'll go back to Afghanistan with the 101st. Had 11 Special Forces guys and a dog. And we had about 20, 25 knot winds coming out of the west. We came in, and I had my sister ship was out with a sniper. He was out the window with the gun, and they had it focused or aimed in on a cave up on this mountaintop. And I've got a really cool picture of it. If we had time, I'd pull it up and share it on the screen. But anyway, so with these dudes in here, they're Canadian Special Forces. My sister ship out there with the sniper. We came in and did a one-wheel landing. So I had my left Blackhawk, landing gear wheel on this hill and sat there for about 2 or 3 minutes while the Special Forces guy and the dog got out onto the little, it was the size of, I don't know, 3 desks, and just sitting there with one wheel on it while they jumped out, and then they went and exploited the cave, ended up blowing it up. There was nobody in it, but there was signs that people had been there. So then they blew it up, and then they went down the hill and came in about an hour or so later, sat down and did a 2-wheel landing on a little saddle, and then they jumped back in and off we went. So nice. That's pretty cool stuff.
America. Jason, sorry.
Go ahead.
Jason, I have an idea next week. If we don't have anything come in, when are you leaving for Nats?
The end of the month. Yeah. Few weeks, yeah.
Why don't you and I each bring a couple of airplanes next week and just go to the field like on, let's say, Tuesday, Wednesday. And we'll go early in the morning, so it's not too hot.
Yeah, sounds good.
And we'll bring a camera just to document the experience. But we need to get back out there and get back. You're out there flying, but I certainly am man in the fort. So
let's do it, man.
All right.
Make it happen.
How about a week or 8 days or whatever it is from now, 9 days, Tuesday, you two meet me in Tullahoma, maybe Monday. And we'll go fly in Tullahoma.
I don't know about all that.
That's a, what, hour and a half, 2 hour drive?
Tullahoma?
Yeah, Tullahoma, Tennessee.
Oh, man, I had Florida in my head for some reason.
No,
what's up in
after
Tullahoma?
Flight Fest, assuming everything goes well, we will then head down to Tullahoma, which is where we pick up our EPP foam that we make our airplanes out of.
Is there airfield down there?
Oh yeah, they got. They just had an event. Jason, you went to their event recently.
Which one?
You went to Tullahoma to the Air Force Base.
Oh, for the glider contest.
Yeah, how far away is that?
It's
from you.
It's an hour and 10 minutes from my house.
122. We could drive together, Jason. Get up in the morning, head out there, go do that, eat some lunch, and then head back after.
Yeah. When is this?
It'll probably be Tuesday morning, not this coming Tuesday, but the following.
Okay.
Will you keep us in that loop and just let us know what's what?
Yeah, we'll do. Jason, I've got at least I had your phone number. I think I still got it in my phone. So.
Yep.
And then what we should do then is look up the want ads in Tullahoma for all the awesome hot rods. Speaking of which, you bought that new truck. What you going to do with that thing? You going to go stock or?
No, I've actually got a 79 Power Wagon that I got when I picked up the $120.69.
Yeah.
All the research that I found is that the Dana 60 and the Dana 44 axles from a mid-70s Power Wagon will fit underneath the 51 with very little modification.
So you're just going to bolt the body onto the other truck?
No. I'm going to move the axles to the 51. That way I can get rid of the split rims and go with a standard wheel. It'll obviously have a Dana 60 and a Dana 44 then. That truck came factory with 583 gears.
Wow.
And a 78 horsepower flathead.
That's a great granny.
Yeah, it'll climb anything, but it won't get there very quickly. So anyway, and then I'll drop in a 360 with a manual transmission. And basically I'm going to drive the wheels off of it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Simple and effective. Did you see what my latest purchase was?
No.
I bought a new motorcycle last week.
Oh, hell, I did see that. That makes me nervous.
Yeah.
You're a life flight helicopter guy. You should know that motorcycles are bad.
We just carried a guy the other day that hit a deer on a motorcycle. And that's the second one of those that I've carried. I didn't realize that hitting a deer on a motorcycle was that common.
Like hitting a person. I was once on a motorcycle and a armadillo ran out in front of me. And did you know when they're scared, you know what they do? They jump about 5 feet in the air. And this dang armadillo jumped right as I came at it. And I thought it was going to hit me right in the face. And it just went over my head.
Holy crap. I've never seen that.
Yep.
So I bought a new bike. I bought a 2016 Victory Magnum. Absolutely gorgeous bike. It's exactly what I've been looking for and been wanting. So.
You said 800 pounds. I said, man, I had a 500-pound Harley and I could barely pick that up when I dropped it. You never pick that motorcycle up.
Well, my last one was a Victory Kingpin, and it was a hefty bike, around 600 pounds. This one, though, with the bags and the fairing and all that, it's the dry weight, I think, is 760 or something like that, 770. So it's a little over 800 pounds when it's ready to roll.
My last bike was a Bagger Road King with a shovel head. Nice. It was so heavy that when you got on it, it didn't do a wheelie. It went sideways like a car.
Yeah, I haven't done a burnout on this one yet. I'm not quite comfortable enough on it. It's actually built for somebody your height.
Yeah, it's big. It's a beautiful bike for sure.
So they put these mini ape hangers on it. And so I have to lean forward now to hold on to the handlebars.
You sit on the tank.
Yeah. So I'm going to tilt them back just a little bit, see if I can get a little bit better reach. Otherwise, I'll just replace the bars again. But so anyway, yeah. So that's what's been going on with me. Every time I go somewhere, I have to look at the classifieds. And I do look for radio-controlled airplanes and things like that. But I keep finding vehicles. I got to stay away from this.
Well, I'm going to jump off this podcast and get a little Optera 1.2 reconnaissance going on, see if I can make that happen, because I'm pretty excited about that. Jason, you're just going to keep being the best sailplane pilot you can be.
Feel free to get two, man. It's all good.
Yeah. I'll see what she says. That would be cool. Although there's no...
Two, you might as well get three.
Right.
Might as well.
And that's just the right thing.
Have the chase plane and then the chaser of the chasing.
And you get an Optera, and you get an Optera.
Go Oprah.
All right, Mr. Lane. Well, I'm glad you got your microphone working.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, y'all. Well, don't get too hot out there, and we'll try to do the same. You know, every time I think how hot it is, I was thinking how the podcast I complain how cold it was or how windy it is. So, really, what do we get? Like 2 weeks out of the whole year where it's perfect.
Yeah, if you're complaining about how hot it is, just come to Nebraska in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
When it's -20 and the wind is ripping about 30 mile an hour,
yeah,
I don't complain about the heat.
Yeah, you can keep all that. Hey, thanks to all our live viewers, Lee Marshall and Steve Wattenberg and Cy Jones. I can't repeat what he just posted or what he posted earlier on the live chat. Thank y'all for joining us live. We promise we'll get more RC on you unless you enjoy talking about big bad trucks, full scale helicopter raids, and things like that, which maybe you do. I'm Jim T. Graham, your host. Hey, you know who I didn't thank was Hobby King. Let's thank our podcast sponsor, Hobby King at hobbyking.com. Good stuff. Jason just posted a Durafly Warbird this morning. Where did you see that, Jason? I usually see what you see, and I didn't see it.
I have my waves.
All right. Well, good. I'm glad you got your waves. And hydrate and go get your colonoscopy. Even if you're not going to go, just get ready.
Even if you're 25, just go get one because they're fun.
Well, they say 45 now. All right, y'all. And on that note, this has been the RC Groups live hangout / podcast with Jason Cole and Lane from Lane's Planes. And we will check y'all out next week. And I promise Jason and I will have flown something together as a team.
Nice.
All right. Bye. Simmer down now.
Peace out.
Hunker down now. Wait, I got to say, you know what? You know why it feels a little less RCE in the podcast? Because there was no Joe Nall. And usually, and then, so anyway, it just occurred to me.
Part of it because I haven't flown anything since Seth.
Well, we're going to work on all that. So you've been busy getting a new job.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Bye.